All right, so let's go continue with our lesson. We're going to talk about our we're going to talk about our arithmetic operators. Ah, I did say it very good. So we're going to talk about operations, right? So here we're going to talk about the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modules. So the symbols for addition is our plus. For the subtraction is this hash here, and not a hash, hyphen. For multiplication is this asterisk, for slash for division, and percentage for module. So, all right, so let's go create programming. Which one we're going to find? Very simple. You can find it anywhere about wages. All right, so let's go declare with a double, right? Uh, Regular paycheck. So very long. So our regular week paychecks, how much we get paid a week. So how much we get paid a week, right? So this is going to hold that value. So we don't know how much it is. Because in order to find out how much you get paid a week, you had to know how many hours you work and how much you got paid per hour. So let's go and put a rate. And this is going to be, um, we already gonna give a value. We're gonna assign a value for our rate. So for this examples, everybody is assigned the value of 18.25. So they get paid $18.25. And if you look here, since I'm using decimals, I have to use that double data type. So I cannot use a int. So another variable that we're going to use is how many hours you work a week. So for hours, I'm going to assign that everybody works 40 hours. All right. Oh, let's go put 40 hours. Fine. So let's go to do this so far, and then we add as we go. All right. So the first thing that we need to do, we talked about the IPO, right? So this will be the input. Let's go look at the process. So the process will be, in order to find out, I'm gonna copy this so I don't have to type it and I won't do mistakes. So we're going to find out how much you get per week. We have to actually assign here, use, we have to assign the variable assignment and its initialization. So we had to assign the values here for these data types, and now we're going to use this operand to find the calculation. So if you can understand what I just said. So we assign the value to these variables, and now in order to find out how much I can pay a week, I had to, in the process, like any operation, math operation, you're going to just multiply the hours times rate. So we're going to use hours times rate. And when we do that, right, we're going to find out how much we get paid a week. All right. So that's good. So in the output, right, we're gonna use a cout and say cout, your paycheck is your week is, I'm going to put a little tab there, right? Now, in order to find out that, I put a sentence there to the user to understand what you're seeing. So I said, okay, your week paycheck is, and then the only variable that holds the value is actually the regular week paycheck, because after I multiply rate times hour, I'm going to be storage the information, the result in this variable. So let's go call that variable that has the answer. Regular, if I go here, it already tells me that's the variable that is holding the information. All right, so if I debug this, I can say that I get paid $730 a week because I multiply 40 hours times the rate that I get paid, $18.25. Perfect. All right, so let's continue with this. Now, what did I do if I wanted to know my overtime? Let's say this is my base paycheck, but I know that I wanted to know overtime. So here I'm just going to put a line just to say that we continue with this calculation. And actually I get paid $730 a week, but sometimes I work overtime. So I had to create a variable that's going to hold the value once I calculate it for overtime. So double, going to go simple with the naming. Over, is overtime one word? Yes. So overtime. So I'm not going to assign any value because I don't know. Some people work 1 hour, some people work 2 hours, 5 hours, whatever overtime it is. Now I need to know how much I get paid overtime, right? So the overtime rate equals, well, in real time, overtime rate equals, I'm going to put 27.78. Okay. And if you, I'll explain one little thing here. Okay, I assign a value because the only thing that we're doing with this program is looking at operators, arithmetic operators. But in real time, in real life, in America at least, you get paid a time and a half, right? So um, this is the if you calculate um, a second, open my. So if you calculate 18 25 is 9 1 so this is this. So 18 plus 25 plus 9.125 equals 27 2078. So that value is already calculated for you, time and a half, right? Time and a half for, this is the time of the basic plus time. You get paid a time and a half in the US. All right, great. So now how I do that? So how you calculate overtime? So let's go here to our calculation again. So now we're going to calculate overtime. And oh, great. To calculate overtime, so you're going to hold everything in the overtime variable. And in order to calculate overtime, you had to call, we're forgetting one variable. So, okay, so that's it. And you need one more. I'm sorry, you need how many hours you work. So overtime hours. In real life, everybody works different overtime hours. So in this case, I'm just gonna put 10 hours. All right, all right. So I work 10 hours. All right, perfect. So the overtime is calculated by your overtime pay rate. So what is the overtime variable that holds that? This is overtime pay rate. Overtime rate times overtime hours. That is an easy way to do this, but we just try to do some calculation here. So now you're gonna get here storage in the overtime, the value for overtime, right? So if you really wanted to know how much you get overtime, you can do that. You can just say, okay, my overtime is, but what you really want to know is your total paycheck. So here we're going to say your week amount is, and in here the variable that holds that value is overtime, correct? All right, so here we're going to just output the overtime. That's not the final process. You wanted to know how much you get paid in total. Your weekly paycheck, but overtime. But let's go run this debug just to see what you're going to get out of it. Also, your overtime total is 277 and 80 cents. So, but you want to know the total, your base salary plus overtime. So we're going to go and multiply this two. So we're going to go and actually create a new variable for, I just put in that lines for you to see the process. So double of total week wages. So now I wanted to know the total. So here we're going to go and put another line for total wages. All right, so how you calculate that. So in order to know how much I do a week, so I'm gonna type here the new variable that I just created. And then here I'm gonna call how you do that. My regular week paycheck plus, so I need to know how much I get paid. So my regular paycheck, that's $730 plus my overtime, how much I did for overtime. And I don't know if you see every time that the editor here, the IDE gives you a hint, I use it instead of type. Because when you type this, I see a lot of students doing that mistake. They do mistakes in spelling, and then they don't, the code is really big and they don't know where they did the mistake, and they cannot find it and so forth. So my last entry here is going to be, just going to copy this, right? my your total week paycheck is. So here, the variable that holds that total is total week wages. All right. All right. So let's go give a little save here. I'm going to run this again. And when you run, you'll see that I get paid $730. My overtime this week was 277 and 80 cents, and the total week check is $1,007.80. So that's the addition and multiplication. The subtraction works the same way. Now the module. Let's go here and do a little bit of in the same here. The module does it gives you the reminder of an operation. Let's say I have, let's say I have two variables. I'm going to pull it in for you to understand. I have a variable called num1, and that variable is equal to 13, right? And then I have int num2, and it's equal to 5, right? And then I want to find the module between these two variables. I'm going to do here. So I'm going to say total module. I have not declared, so here int total module. Right, so I declared it, and I'm going to say num1 module num2. All right. So what it's going to do is it's going to you have 13, and you're going to see the division of 15 in 13. How many times can it goes? So it's 2, right? And it's 10. If you try to, how many times you divide 2, and how many numbers are left? 3. So if I can put 2 in there, this is 10, right? And the leftover is 3. So it gives you the leftover of the remainder of an operation. So if I go here and set C out your total, it was total is right. So here we're gonna go. What is the variable that holds total module? Total module is gonna hold that information. And let's see what once we run it, what we're gonna get. So how many times 5 goes in 13? Only 2, and the remainder is 3. So the total is 3. So the module operator gives you the reminder. So the multiplication multiply, the subtraction subtract, obviously, addition adds, and the module gives you the reminder of an operation. Okay, so so we cover mostly everything. That is things that I just get past a very light explanation on the subject. But the point is for, excuse me, the point is for you to just have a sense of what the programming with C++ is, so you can actually go to the book or more advanced, because every programming, in order to learn, you have to really involve yourself, practice a lot. Practice, 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 read the definition, try every single example that's out there so you can see how the program behaves when you use a certain operation and so forth. So I hope this was helpful, and let's go move forward.